Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
So, yes, Mr. Ashutosh, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And how about you? How's your day going so
Um,
far?
my day has been good. I'm also doing very fine. Thank you so much for asking. And I'm really sorry I got late, little late. Actually, there was a learner. He had some doubt, so just was explaining that. So got little late. So anyway, I
Okay, I
think
can
we have.
understand.
Thank you. So we have met before, right?
Yes, this is our second session.
Right, great. Okay, so the topic we have is very interesting. Sometimes I do not touch the topic, but today it is nice. I can ask you a few things around this topic, which is dream.
Yeah.
So there are dreams which you see at night, and there is a dream which you wake up at night, right?
Yeah.
So what is your dream which makes you wake up at night, which works you very hard?
Yeah, basically, to be honest, nowadays I don't get a lot of dreams, and it doesn't happen with me. If I sleep once at night, I'll be I'll wake up in the morning. That's it. No
Wow.
dream, nothing like disturbs me at all. So,
Okay,
fortunately, it's a good thing. I don't get nightmares or any negative thing in my mind
that's
which
nice. Same
disturbs me
here.
at. So,
Same here.
yeah,
There are
okay.
very few times it happens that I get dreams. But my question was little different. I wasn't
Mm-hmm,
asking you about that. I asked you that there are two types of dreams. One, which we see while sleeping, like at night, and ones
mm-hmm.
which does not allow us to sleep at night. The one
Oh,
which we
okay.
are
The
working
quote,
very
like
hard.
quote of APJ Abdul Kalam. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he
Same.
say that yeah, so they are not. So in that way, of course, I want to go forward, and money is the thing which makes you work really hard, which gives you
Yes.
the motivation to do hard work. And in that way, I want to do it. I want to become better. I want to grow my YouTube channel as much as I can. I want to provide good content for the people. And always I'm exploring things, reading books. Before taking session, I was reading like Bhagavad Gita. So that's what I prefer, reading is spiritual books. And yeah, I don't sleep. In that way, I want to do a lot. Yeah, but I'm not very passionate. As it is giving in this, scriptures, there are three modes, like mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. I wouldn't say that I'm in the mode of goodness, but I'm not very much passionate about getting a lot of material things. So I want to make myself calm and composed with a great schedule. Yeah, that's what I do.
That's very nice that you're trying to achieve a balance between both the things. That's very good.
Yeah,
So you
I
were reading
try.
yeah. So you were reading Bhagavad Gita as you mentioned,
Hmm.
right? So could you share with me, like I'm not being a teacher also, I would very honestly say that I'm not a very good reader. I do not read very often, but I try to listen a lot. I try to listen to podcasts, interviews, all those things that have been my kind of reading, so that have helped
Hmm.
me. So, if you can share some things from Bhagavad Gita that are very close to you or that you feel have helped you, some learnings that
Yeah,
you have gained.
first I will tell you of course, it's not easy to read. For me also, it's really difficult. Nowadays, we have smartphones in our hand. So
Mm.
most of the time we go for watching videos or listening something when we work.
Yes.
Reading is something where you have to put 100%, right? It
Yes.
not like, you're working, something you are doing your household chores, and along with that you can listen. But when it comes
Exactly.
to the
Reading.
reading, you have to put your
Mm.
120% there only.
Yes.
So I'm also trying my level best to become a reader, not a good reader at all. So nowadays I read at least for 30 minutes or whatever the time I get. So when, as you said about the Bhagavad Gita, so what I'll say, most of the people, they say like, they talk about the karma, okay? So means do karma. They have changed this in a materialistic way that you have to do karma and you don't have to think about them. But what they say, like karma yoga, which is really important in Bhagavad Gita to understand the real meaning of that. Karma yoga means you have to do karma, and whatever the fruits or results you get from it, try to just use all those fruits in the like sense gratification of Krishna, not of yourself sense gratification.
Okay.
What people misunderstand, that do karma and whatever the
Yes, yes,
results you get, enjoy it. Okay.
yes, yes.
So mhm.
That
So
was
this is
my
the
thinking also.
misunderstanding. Yeah,
Okay.
so but yeah, the people they have given this commentary like according to their thinking. But what is the scriptures are saying? It is karma yoga means you have to do karma, but keep the center keep the Krishna in center and do all the work and try to give money and donations and charity for all those great works. That means karma yoga. And the second thing is jnana yoga, when the people they go for the knowledge of all scriptures and things. That is the Jnana Yoga. A lot of you people see Jnani, Yogi, so they are into that, trying to know the Param Brahm and the Super Soul, right? So that is the second one. And third one comes the best one, that is the Bhakti Yoga. So when you do the devotion and you understand, like even though like Vigrah Roop, a lot of deities are there, so we worship them, we give them food, we put on clothes. So these all the things like come under the Bhakti Yoga, that we give them priority, that they are the similar like us. Of course they are not similar, they are always supreme. So but we are always taking care of them in that way. So Bhakti Yoga, the people who do devotion kind of activities. So these three things are which are really important and described in Bhagavad Gita in a very detailed manner.
Wow.
And
I
what
think
we
you can.
follow, that is karma kand. So karma kand
Mhm.
means you will say like you have to go for many things which we say go to do
Mhm.
this rituals, this that thing. So that is
Mhm.
not in the ladder of this yoga. So karma
Mhm.
yoga, jnana yoga, then bhakti yoga, but we do the rituals. Those are all comes under the karma kand.
Wow, I think you are you've read a lot and very deeply. You've read very deeply this book, right? So that's
I don't
nice.
really think so, but Bhagavad Gita, whenever you read, like you get something. Not once, you have to read many times.
Many times, yes, I've heard about it.
Mhm.
They have been couple of people in my family of following the book, and they've told me it's maybe their sixth time reading it, seventh time they are reading it like continuously. Then only they say that you can try to understand the meaning of what they have written. So
Yeah.
apart from Bhagavad Gita, what other book, any other book which is your favorite?
Favorite, not, but I read recently. I read that was the book On the Way to Krishna. Before
Hmm.
that, I read a book that was Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers. So
Hmm.
these the books, and I was about to read another book that I think Beyond Birth and Death, but
I've
I
heard
was not
about
able to
this one.
complete
This is
it.
a very
Mhm.
nice
Yeah.
book. Somebody recently only posted some review about this book. So that's nice that you read, because see, reading, the people who do not read, they know that reading is very good. So as a
Mhm.
person who is not very avid reader, I always tell that if you have this habit, it's beautiful. It's a very, very good habit. If you try to keep it, be consistent with this habit, even if I'm not myself a very good reader. So that is great. Before this session, there was this topic very interesting. Let us also talk about that, which was IQ versus EQ. So if I
Mhm.
ask you the meaning of both the terms, IQ and EQ, can you share your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so IQ means intelligence, right?
Yes,
Intelligence
intelligence.
quadrants, and
Hmm.
EQ means emotional,
Hmm.
quadrants, right? I think,
Yes,
if I'm not wrong.
exactly, exactly. You're
So,
right.
yeah. So, intellect is something like if I talk about the intellect, we are human beings, right? We are the intellect or intellectual human, creatures on this planet, right? So, but everywhere, if I talk about IQ, it's very important as we check nowadays for the science or for the, if you would like to become a, high level of officer or things, they check your IQ because it's really important, right? What kind of intellect do you have? How will you take decisions? This kind of things are very important. But
Yes,
EQ, EQ is a different thing. Even though you are intellect, but sometimes you have to take the decisions emotionally. Emotion matters a lot because sometimes you have to put your intellect aside and you have to take the things accordingly to your emotions, right? But duty is very important. As I will give you an example of, I think you might know or not, Ramayana. So when just when Megnath was there, so his father Ravana said to him that you have to go and fight. against Lakshman and Ram and all the like armies of them. But he was really because the mother of like Meghnad Mandodri, she was really unhappy. But somehow, and of course, his wife were also unhappy. But the duty is over the emotions. Okay, so you have to go and do whatever your work is, like rather than being emotional always. So, but EQ is also important. You have to make the balance between IQ and EQ. So
Mhm.
that's what I think about it, and I don't know what are your take on it. So.
So yes, I very much agree on what you have said. That if you compare these two items, so these two terms, you have to be very balanced between being intelligent and being emotional, and you cannot all the time keep your the same point of view as yours. But I also feel that emotional quotient and intelligence quotient, as you said, is also very different. Like some people do have intelligence in them, but they don't have emotional capacity.
Mhm,
They don't have emotional
mhm,
understanding of people, and that is also not very good. And vice versa. If you are very emotional, you are emotionally very good. Your emotional sense of humanity is also very good, but on the other hand you are not very intelligent as a person, so that is also a bad thing. So you should try to be balance, make a balance between your intelligence and your emotional capacity. That is also very very important nowadays. This term is very common, emotional intelligence.
mhm.
Heard of it?
Yes,
What do you
yes,
think
emotional
about that?
intelligence. That is
Mm.
the same thing, like the mixture of both, right?
Mm.
That you
Mm.
have to be like you there should be emotions, but with the
Mm.
intelligence, right? So that
Yes.
is emotional intelligence. Yeah,
Yes, you should not blindly follow whatever emotion is coming to your
yeah.
whatever emotion you are feeling. You should not blindly follow it. And they say now that a man who can handle or maybe control his brain is the supreme. So there should be a
Mhm.
capacity in us that we should be able to handle our brain or emotions, right? So
Exactly.
I also want to ask you. Yes, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was about to say, like when it comes to emotions, like if someone dies, we are driven by the emotions, right? And we are not able to control ourselves. At that point of time, you have to take decisions with your intellect somewhat. But of course,
Mhm.
if somebody is born, of course there will be death. So it's nobody is permanent here. So along their emotions are important, but along with that, you have to go with your intellect as well. That how you can deal with the future and how can you do like something apart
That
from
is
only thinking about all those things.
That is very true, Ashutosh. But I feel like right now we can talk about it because maybe we are in a comfortable spot. But it is very
Hmm.
difficult to do this thing than to say it that we should be able to handle our emotions. Like this person who is in that situation, who has left, who has seen the loss of somebody very precious. So for them at that point of time, these things don't matter. I feel I've seen people being very vulnerable and very weak at that point of time. So they don't see any positive when we talk about these things. They feel very weak, emotionally very let down. So I think it is very very difficult to do these things than to say it, right?
Yeah, it's always like easy to say it or easier to say it than done. So but when it that's what they are practicing in the monastery, the monks are practicing, that is
Hmm.
detachment, right? They're not
Hmm.
attached to anything. They are okay to use anything whatever they get it, like car, house, a big, but they are not attached to it. What they feel, okay, if they have today, fine. Tomorrow if it wouldn't be there, they will be okay with it. So that's all about the Bhagavad Gita. Like, when Arjuna was really confused and his, like, throat was dying, like, drying up or something, like he was not able to perform at all. Then Vishnu Krishna says, even though the Arjuna was one of the greatest devotees in the world, he was
Hmm.
really nice, he was just intellectual, he had all the knowledge, but seeing his, like, cousins, his, like, Guru Dronachar and his, like, the grandfather Bhishma, he was not able to perform at all, and he said no for it. Then Bhagavad Gita came into existence, right? The Krishna said directly, and then he
Hmm.
made him understand again and again, again and again. He said the same thing, that it's very full of confusion, that you are talking contradictory, same point of time this and same point of time this, that how is
Hmm.
it easy for someone to
Hmm.
understand? But that's how, when
Mm-hmm.
you practice all those things again and again, again and again, that's how you're
Mm-hmm.
able to perform it. But we are materially attached and we are living in family, so it's not easy
It's
task
not
if you're losing
easy.
somebody, your
That's
close
when
one.
I was
Yeah.
thinking only that when we talk about monks who are doing this, or who have who are practicing detachment, or maybe they can do it because they're not living with their family, or they are somewhere living the life they wanted to, whatever they want to. They are doing that
Hmm.
practically, not living with their family. But when we are living with our family, no matter how much we try to be detached, no matter how much we try to be very strong, we can be strong to an extent. We do feel attached, we do have emotions, we do have everything when we are surrounded by our loved ones, right?
Hmm.
So that is very, very different to follow. But yes, everybody should be doing what they feel like. So yeah, but yes, I think we should try to at least be calmer in all the situation. That is one thing I
Yeah.
feel one can do. Not to not to all the time using our brain to keep wandering here and there. Just realizing the stillness in the moment, just being there in the
Yeah.
moment, just enjoying the stillness, calmness is also one very difficult thing to
Yeah.
do, but also very important.
Yeah, that's what they said. Like, if somebody is self-realized, he's always neutral in a lot of distress and a lot of happiness as well.
Yes, yes, yes,
He's
yes.
not going to be
That's what we believe.
overjoyous, or he is not going to be over depressed. So he's not neutral, able to handle, of course. Like, if somebody is losing someone, for sure they are going to be unhappy, but you have to be, like, neutral with your
Neutral.
things.
Right, right, right. All right. Okay. So, I would next want to ask you that there are positive emotions in a human: love, care, happiness, all these things, and are negative emotions. We are human. We cannot deny that. We all have hatred, somewhere jealousy, somewhere a sadness, anger, all these things. So, how do you, after reading so much about spirituality, uh, emotions, how do you try to maintain your calm in negative emotions, or do you feel your negative emotions? How do you deal with negative emotions?
Yeah, you're stuck. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Yeah, there was a break actually. Yeah.
Okay.
So your question first, I would say that I haven't read a lot. It's very little, of course, a kind of drop in the ocean. Nothing actually. It's
Mm-hmm.
negligible. So, but of course, this is Kali Yuga, okay? So first, this is the perfect age for all these things, whatever you talked about, hatred, jealousy, enviousness, because there are four yugas like Satyuga and Treta, Dwapar, then Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is all about having all these things, whatever you talked about in the negative sense. So yeah, it's there and always it's there. So question is, like, good things, you can see very less people nowadays who are doing good things. But when somebody does, like, wrong with me also, it's very difficult to be neutral. Already I said that easier said than done. So always, like, for me also it's really difficult, but I feel okay. I don't have to revert in that way. That should be your thing. You should be
Mm-hmm.
okay, whatever you got, but you don't have to go for the revenge. You don't have to go for a, like, a reaction. Okay, respond, think. When you get your chance, sometimes give them answer. It's not okay to be silent always, because the people, they are going to like, understand you. You are a stupid guy, but that's not the thing. Don't become dumb, but try to find a right time for the giving the right answers. For me also, I don't become, like, I used to be short tempered, but nowadays I try my level best to be calm as much as I can in such situations as well. But it happens with everybody, because this is Kali Yuga
Yes.
and the people are really cunning nowadays. So they want to become, they think like when you are acting like a simple guy, they think that you are fool, but you are not, okay? But
Hmm.
even though if you are not fool, but you have to tolerate them. So that's what the thing is.
Right, right. So, you said that you were a short-tempered person, so now you're trying to be better at it,
Sometimes
right?
nowadays as well, I am short tempered. I can say that I have like, not only like completely I have just, lost that habit, not at all. So it happens sometimes, but nowadays I don't generally like, get temper.
Okay. So, what are the things that makes you angry? Like, foolproof things that definitely makes you angry?
First thing, if I'm not able to do things what I want to, basically exploration. If I want to explore something, but if I'm getting the distraction for a very long period of time, I have to adjust with someone or somebody for a long period of time with no reason. That will be a kind of like, anger. I'll get it because I want to understand. I want to follow my own schedule, whatever I have. And second thing, sometimes with the family matters, that if I'm trying to make them understand but they don't understand because they don't see the long term, like, thing, what will be the result, and sometimes they are doing it, then it makes me really unhappy. But sometimes they are right, sometimes I'm wrong. So but nowadays I don't say a lot of things. Whatever they do, keep them doing, but I will make them understand. If they understand, fine. If not, then they'll get the results.
Right. Okay. My last question for today's session, like today's session was very much about self-realizing and you know, looking at inside rather than seeing it outside. So my next and last question would be that in today's age, we say today's age is of comparison with the social media. We're all the time, okay, that person is going there, that is roaming there, that person is doing this, that person has bought this, and we're all the time doing that and comparing our lives with others and getting sad sometimes. So what do you feel about it? How can we deal with this?
Yeah, it's very sorry, it's very natural, of course, when you look at your friends, they are visiting Himachal or Odisha or many places. You feel like, oh man, even though you are working, you're professional, but you can't visit. So that what a, like, bad life we have. But
Exactly.
what I have done for
Can you
that,
just give me
basically, I'm
one
not
second?
very,
Can you just give me
yeah,
just
sure.
one? Very sorry
Yeah,
to
why
interrupt. Just a
not?
second.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
okay. So what I was telling you, so for that, I don't want to follow social media a lot. I don't want to go and watch stories of the people. I have many people in my WhatsApp, more than like, I can say more than 100 and 200 and 300, because a lot of people from all around the country. What I have done for that, only few of them are in my just, status list. All are in the muted one, because I don't want to see what they are doing. Actually, it makes me like, unhappy, and I feel, oh my god, like even though they are not doing a lot, but they are visiting, they are getting luxuries. So it like for sure the comparison comes. So for that, I have chosen the selected people of my family, like, who are in their status list. Otherwise I keep them in the mute. So really, sometimes, even though after that also, sometimes I like watching like what they are doing, but they are not in the front of my screen, so most of the time I'll not be watching that. Okay, so that's the thing I do it. And I'm not sometimes when I feel like it's disturbing, I will uninstall social media, like the Facebook or Instagram. But when I feel like, it is needed due to my work, then I will install it again. So that's how I manage it.
So you do a detox, media detox nowadays. Very common term that you,
Yes.
what we say, delete it from your phone for a few days and
Mhm.
then you come back to it. All right,
Yeah, but
great.
not easy for me, as I am a content creator. I'm on
Content creator.
YouTube, so yeah.
I've seen few sessions, and I've seen one of our session video also. I happened to
Yeah,
watch very
recently I had uploaded.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right, great, Ashutosh. Your language is getting very good, very, very good. In fact, I would like to tell you just only one feedback I have for
Mhm.
you. In one of the sentence you mentioned, very rarely, sometimes I do that. So rarely and sometimes means the same thing. So you need to use only one word, and that happens
Okay.
because of slip of tongue when we are speaking fluently. Either you can say I
Mhm.
really do that or I sometimes do that, right? The
Agreed.
frequency of
Uh-huh.
sometimes is little higher than rarely, so you can choose it wisely, whatever you want to say. Other than that, it was all nice. The conversation was very nice, and the content you shared was also very nice today, and how you shared that was also very nice. I could see that. All right, for a person who is looking only at the ocean, you a drop in the ocean is much bigger. So that way I could learn a lot from you today, and I feel that you are following whatever you're reading very well, as you can talk about it in a great way. So nice. You should be doing a webinar or something like that on Bhagavad Gita, I feel.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll try my best. I
yeah,
think I
you
have to
can. You
read a
can see
lot.
one session or one video, just a suggestion, whatever you feel like. But still, some video conversational maybe or something like that on your YouTube. I would like
Sure.
to watch something like that from you, because I happen to discuss Bhagavad Gita a lot sometimes at my home, also with other people also, as I belong to Brahmins. I'm married in Brahmin family. So but listening to you today, I could really feel that you have very deeply trying, you're very deeply trying and also tried to understand the meaning of
Yeah.
some things, right?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
Ashutosh, it was nice
Okay,
talking to
thank
you.
you.
Have a wonderful day. Bye. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.